This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
Alrighty then, no hats or party favors, but from all of us to you, Happy New Year as we ring in 2023. Good to have you with us for the next half hour as we have a bit of change from our normal format.
Yeah, instead of the latest news and features, we're going to show you some of your favorite stories from the past year. We call it the best of YouTube. He is one of the lucky ones, the victim of a farming accident who fortunately is still here to tell his story. Thomas Strickland on how the accident not only gave him a new lease on life, but also changed his career path.
Family is what definitely drives this farming operation. Meet the mother and twin sisters behind Triple S Farms.
And then later, this gentleman is the definition of sustainability in the human form. He is Olin Hill, and the things he still does to this day on the farm even amaze his family. Olin's story and so much more start right now on the Farm Monitor.
Unfortunately, farm accidents and fatalities are a part of agriculture. Thomas Strickland came very close to being one of those statistics. However, his accident enabled him to sit back and reflect on the more important things in life, mainly his two daughters, Trinity and Summer, something that would help them get involved and maybe even someday carry on the family legacy. Long before the interstate, the traffic jams, the congestion, Henry County and the surrounding areas now occupied by warehouses look like this. Farmland for as far as the eyes could see. For the Stricklands, it was a little slice of heaven. The perfect place to begin what was and is still to this day the family business.
My family's been, like you say, in the county since the 1700s, late 1700s, and we've been farming in the county ever since. We've had cows over the years, do a lot of small grain, wheat, soybeans. It's gotten difficult. I hate seeing the county grow like it is, but how you gonna stop it? Like I say, my family being on this place so long, I don't plan to go anywhere.
We first met Tom back in 2013 during Georgia Farm Bureau's annual Young Farmers and Ranchers trip to Washington, D.C. And boy, was he green. It was Tom's first trip on a plane, first time visiting our nation's capital, first time for a lot of things. And we documented his journey every step of the way. Well, since that trip, much has happened in Tom's life. For one, he is older and wiser and tells me he now has a better appreciation for the ag industry as a whole. But arguably, the biggest change in Tom's life happened last summer at the start of wheat harvest. While working with his dad, Tom fell off a ladder and broke his back when a grain auger fell directly on top of him. Understandably, when we discussed the accident and how it could have been so much worse, Tom got emotional.
I get upset about it because the last thing I saw when it fell on me was my daddy running. And so that bothers me, that it could have been him.
It was very scary because when I went out, I did not know what I was going to see, just in a panic. But we are very, very fortunate that worse did not happen to him, and we're just so blessed that he's still with us. That could have been a fatal accident.
My dad stepped up and helped with the wheat straw, and some of the little girls, they were out there helping him. He's 75 years old at the time, out there trying to get up wheat straw in the summer heat, and my little girls, they were out there trying to help him. And my youngest one, all she could do was drag the bale, but that got me to thinking that if I want to get them involved in ag. It needs to be something that they would be interested in, that they would enjoy doing.
And so Tom's new journey of Strickland's Farm Fresh Flowers was off and growing. At just over 100 acres, the farm features approximately 80 varieties of flowers in many shapes, colors, and types, all with one motto in mind: choosing your favorite flowers and making memories with your family and friends.
It is a lot of hard work, and we've been out here a lot of nights, weekends, for months. But it is very nice to see it come to fruition, to see, you know, things start blooming, and every day is like a new gift. I mean, it's something else opening up and smiling at you, and that's the rewarding part of it.
All those years working cattle, slinging hay, doing all that stuff, and now you find yourself working flowers. What kind of adjustment was that?
It took a little bit of adjustment. People was like, "You're growing flowers?" I'm like, "Hey, you know, it's farming too." To compare it to the other type of farming that we do, it's hard. It takes a lot of everything that we've planted out here, we've done by hand. It's hard work.
Yeah.
I think there's been times I'd rather been out picking up wheat straw or doing something with the cows than out here with the flowers, but it pays off. My girls get to see what hard work will get you. They've been out here for a lot of it, and they're seeing what you can get out of the hard work.
Build it and they will come. That was certainly the case for the Wright family when they took a leap of faith and opened Wright's Meat Processing in Summerville. John Holcomb with that story from Chattooga County.
In northwest Georgia, at this family-run meat processing operation, the meat business is no doubt serious business for the Wright family, as they work to provide high-quality custom-cut and retail services for producers and consumers in the area. It's certainly been quite the adventure for them, but it's one they're extremely grateful for, as they've gotten to see their dream come to fruition.
We're a custom processing facility, and now we're USDA licensed and inspected. So if somebody wanted to bring us a pork or a beef and kill it under inspection, they would be able to sell that product themselves at flea markets and whatever. But that's what we do here. We custom cut everything to order, and we make our own sausage and sell that out retail too at the front.
We've always wanted to work with our boys. We have 2 boys, and their significant others work with us as well. And that just means a lot. You're not tied to a time clock. I mean, we still work hard and get everything done, but we're not punching a clock. We don't have to ask for, vacation time. We get to spend every day together. Of course, it is hard at times to work with your family. It always is, but it's rewarding at the end.
Being livestock producers themselves, the Wrights saw the need for a processor in the area as consumer demand for locally grown and processed meat has grown exponentially over the past few years, not to mention the difficulties finding meat due to the pandemic and supply chain issues.
There's not enough processors for the demand. With COVID hitting, we couldn't get to the grocery stores. Even now, 2 years later, the supply and the demand is just, you can't find the food. Things are out of stock. We are thankful that we are able to open this up for the community so that they can provide for themselves. They can kill their own animals, their beef and their hogs, put it up in the freezer, not worry about if they can get to the grocery store, or if they even have it in the grocery store.
We serve a niche here with all the supply chain problems and rumors of food shortages. I like, it's a nice feeling to be in the community that we can serve people that they can raise their own hogs and beef and bring them here and not have to worry where their next meal is going to come from. So we're trying in our little own way to help that problem.
And for the Wrights, that's the most important thing, working hard to provide a good service and product to those in their community.
Making sure the customer gets a good product. That's what drives us to get up every morning knowing, and we leave at the end of the day with a good feeling and knowing we created a good product that somebody can take home to their family and use.
Reporting in Summerville for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Still to come on the Farm Monitor's Best of YouTube 2022, take a guess at how old this gentleman is, right there. Believe it or not, he's 95 years old and still works the farm on a regular basis.
Triple S Farms in Thomaston, Georgia, a family operation.
And a diverse operation featuring chickens, cattle, and you pick strawberries in the spring. Farm Monitor contributor Jennifer Parson gives us a closer look at how this family bands together to offer a taste of their own to the local community.
As you pass by Triple S Farms and take in the sounds, you may not know just how passionate the women behind the farm gate are about agriculture.
Hey girl. I rake, I hair, I help during our calving season, tag all the calves, as well as keep up with their vaccinations and identification.
Mallory and Macy aren't just sisters, they're twins, and they both share a love for all things ag.
I just really enjoy the cattle, seeing them grow and seeing them go off to another place and being able to provide for our community.
These women work together as a family to showcase what agriculture has to offer to their local community. From sales to marketing, even showing their animals. They do it all. Their work in ag doesn't stop on the farm. Both sisters are involved in their local FFA chapter. Macy serves as president, while Mallory backs her up as vice president.
You never know how much you use agriculture until you actually look into everything and you realize everything is based on agriculture.
Mallory manages the marketing for their family farm, while Macy works primarily with their cow operation. In addition to the daily work, Mallory shows the pigs and lambs. And you guessed it, Macy shows the cows at various competitions throughout the year. The sisters grew up on the farm and it's always been part of their family routine, but that wasn't the case for their mother. She says her adventure in farming began after she was married and when her husband and his brother had a grand idea for a new business venture.
And I thought my husband was completely crazy. Because we had always been in the telecommunications business.
She says she has plenty of memories as a young girl sitting on her grandmother's porch shelling peas. But beyond that was a big learning curve, and their connections within Farm Bureau helped them navigate their new way of life.
We got really involved with agriculture through Farm Bureau, through the Young Farmer Program. My husband and I served on the state committee as vice chair.
I've made so many friendships in Farm Bureau with showing livestock, getting to meet new people.
Neely says the family roots they're growing and the work ethic they're instilling in their children are priceless.
It's worth the long hours, long nights, early mornings, everything in between. I could not think of a better way to raise our children than right here on the farm.
And their children are involved with all aspects of their farm, from plowing the fields, cutting and raking hay, marketing the beef, and managing the you-pick strawberry operation.
It's amazing to me how much the world doesn't know where your food and fiber comes from. And so when we get the opportunity to share our story, we are all about it. We love to share, where we come from, what we do, and we're very passionate about it.
For the twins, farm life won't stop when they graduate. They're both excited about their future career opportunities in ag.
It's not just working on the farm with the livestock. There's so many things that you can do, whether it's ag communications, marketing. I love that I get to learn hands-on things, and I guess going on in my career in life, I would love to stay on the farm. I would love to do something in ag communications.
In Thomaston, I'm Jennifer Parson reporting for the Farm Monitor.
Well, we have saved the best for last. After the break, the most viewed Farm Monitor YouTube video of all 2022. A breed of sheep highly sought after, not just for its wool, but for something else.
Bring up the subject of family and farming with Olin Hill, and more often than not, you'll get a smile as big as the moon. Bring up family and farming when Olin was a boy, you'll get that smile all right, but it may take him a while to collect himself.
That might be kind of hard. When I was a child coming up, we had to do everything with horses and by just handwork, you know. We'd get up of a morning, harness the horses up, you know, at daylight. And then we'd go on out and get cows and milk them, and then we'd go to the field.
So Beth, tell me, growing up, having Pop as your dad.
Oh, he was wonderful. He was the best. We had the best parents ever. Mother stayed home with us, and my dad was the one that was out working, providing for the family. I grew up with him having a garden, so that instilled in me. I also grew up knowing what hard work was, and you get up every day and you give a man more than what he's paying you for, because that's the principle of working with him. And they met our daily needs, but if we wanted extra, we'd have to go out and get a job and babysit or things like that to have the extras, but we never did without, ever.
Morals, values, and a work ethic that began on that Missouri farm nearly a century ago. A work ethic that Olin took with him to the Navy, where much of his time was spent working on a tugboat. Nowadays, despite the typical health ailments a person Olin's age experiences from time to time, there is pretty much nothing that will prevent Pop from working the farm and tending to the animals, even at the urging of his family, who admit they worry sometimes he does too much around the farm.
When I see him out there, I think, oh my gosh, I wish I could be, I hope I live as long as he does and am able to do what he does. And this past summer, we used to raise hogs, and we've got out of that. So we had a hog shed that we decided that we would turn into an implement shed for the garden. So Andrew had the tractor pulling that round, and Pop was out there. So he didn't like the way it was, so we had to tear the whole thing down and rebuild it. And Pop was out there, Pop and me and Andrew when he could, but we were out there building the hog pen into the implement shed.
Obviously, it's something that you have a passion about because you're out there all the time. What is it that just drives you to get out there, Pop? What is it about agriculture that you love so much?
You can do what you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you ain't got somebody standing over telling you what to do besides your dad.
Still got that in the back of your head, don't you? Being yelled at on the farm, huh?
Right.
It's been said, if a wise old man ever gives you advice while peeling an apple with a pocket knife and eating pieces right off the blade, you should probably take it. Pop is both the blade and the apple, and his one piece of advice is a good one.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep your knife and your apple. And if you use the knife right, it ain't gonna hurt you.
I think one of the most important lessons he can give, number one, don't complain about your circumstances. Get up every day, pull yourself up, and get out there and deal with it. Life is not always fair, it's not always easy, but he always had the attitude that you get up, you do what you need to do for that day, and you get up, you go to bed, and you get up the next day, and you do it again.
In Douglas County, I'm Ray DeLessio.
Finally this week, our #1 YouTube story of all 2022. Due to demand, or in this case the lack of, the sheep industry in Georgia has been less than stellar. There is, however, one sheep farmer in West Georgia that says the last few years have proven otherwise. In a story with over 3,000 views, John Holcomb reports from Troup County on Hunt Road, Katahdin Sheep Farm.
Meet Raymond Smith, a sheep farmer who started tending sheep a few years back with his wife on their family farm. In the beginning, they started out with just 10 ewes and a ram, but as you can tell, have really expanded their flock over the years. As Smith will tell you though, it has taken a lot of hard work getting to where they are now.
We had a hard time finding what we were looking for, the good animals, the genetics or whatever. We wanted to stay with the hair sheep because they are meat animals. We were fortunate enough to get into real good genetics. We worked hard at it, and it took a lot of hard work. We belong to the Katahdin Association, and we have done very well.
Much like any other livestock producer, since their start in the sheep business, they have been working to improve the genetics of their flock to help them grow the healthiest and most productive animals that they can.
This is a meat animal, so the whole idea of the meat sheep, it's like cattle or anything else. You want them to hit the ground, you want them to grow fast, you want to get them to market so you can make money. We strive to get we'll average a little over 3/4 of a pound a day growth in the first 90 days. Sometimes we have some more performers other than that, and people say, you're crazy. Well, we do things so that we can get that, and that's how we market our animals, is their growth factor and their meatiness.
Historically here in the U.S., the demand for lamb meat has remained low, but according to Smith, that has changed in the last few years.
Our palates change over time. We have people moving into this country from Europe and other places, and this is a main staple. And I always tell everybody, I says the number one meat in the world today is goat. 64% of all the meat produced in the world today is goat, and lamb falls in pretty much behind it. Hair sheep have a very good taste. People that eat goat love lamb. A lot of people really, it's a very good meat. It is a high-end cut, and it is desired by all kinds of people.
In fact, according to Smith, lamb has become such a popular meat, and the genetics that they have on their farm are so desired, they have a hard time keeping up with demand.
We have calls almost every day, but during the week we'll have an average of 5 calls a week looking for sheep. We sold 185, I marketed 185 sheep last year, and I'm still getting calls. Now we will start again. We have sold sheep, and we have filled up everything. We can't take any more orders because after we had our show in August, we almost sold out on the way home.
Reporting in LaGrange for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Good story, John. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that is going to do it for our annual Best of YouTube edition. Next week, we are back with all new stories and a new outlook for 2023.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Happy New Year.